Hi guys, and welcome to the presentation today, how to triple your business using email, the golden rules, top tips and strategies that I've been using personally in my business and now are going to be able to help you too. And I'm really looking forward to providing this information to you tonight. And before we get started, turn off all distractions. That's mobile, Facebook. I want your full attention. All right, close all those web windows, Twitter. You know the score. Have a pen and paper handy because I want you to really jot down lots of things during the presentation so that you can take action, get results and transform your business. Glass of water would be handy. And create an action step list. This is key so that you can, instead of just gathering information, turn the information into an action step list so you go out and actually implement what you've learned during this presentation. So with that being said, what are you going to learn from this presentation? Email marketing basics. I know that many of you are watching just dipping your toe into email marketing, and that's cool, but many of you may have already got an email database of leads or buyers, and you just want to know really what to do with them, and so you may be a bit more advanced. So we'll be coming into that. Timing your emails, really important. The different providers, biggest mistakes of email marketing I see lots of businesses making. The importance of targeted email lists, not just getting a big email database. The anatomy of an email, really breaking down into sections so that you really understand why an email is going to get open, read and then clicked, so that potentially people can invest in your service or product. How to create powerful headlines. You know, the headline is a really critical part of an email, because if we don't get that right, then the rest isn't going to flow. How to get the click. So once we've got someone's attention through a subject line, how do we get someone to click? The power of storytelling in your emails, and creating autoresponders that work. And if you don't know what autoresponders are right now, that's cool. I'll be explaining that too. So just 30 minutes ago, I sent out an email which said "Ari cough cough" and with a sad face. And it's the reply I got was, "I really like your notes. I wish I could be on the webinar, but I'm with a client. Good luck with it." And that just kind of reminded me that the emails that I send out, they kind of grab people's attention. So let me just break down for you, just before we even go into some of the basics, just literally what I did in this situation. So the subject was cough cough, and in this example I just sent it to myself as a test. Simon, I've been feeling a bit down in the dumps. Last night I had a pretty hard CrossFit session, then went out in the evening to try out an improv class. Think whose line is it anyway? It was awesome fun. Feeling a little under the weather, but nothing that bad. But then I was up 3 times in the night, coughing, spluttering, etc. Problem is, I have a webinar today at 1 p.m. on how to triple your business with email marketing. Do I cancel? Hell no, the show must go on. Why? Because the information is too important to share with you. And if I cancel, that would be same as a packed room of people who show up and then the speaker doesn't show. So I just wanted to pre-warn you that I may be sounding a little under the weather today. Go easy on me, okay, but it will be worth it. And it starts at 1 p.m. UK time, live from Bath. If you haven't signed up yet, then you can use the following link. And so the reason I've kind of shown you this email was that I got that email saying, you know, that they thought it was, they like my kind of the way that I write my emails. And this is a reason for email. So instead of just saying, look, come on, check out my my training, what I was trying to say was look, here's a story. I've not been feeling too well, but it's really important you come on the training. I'm not going to cancel it because I'm ill, because the information is too important for you. So it's just a reason behind why I was sending the email, and we'll come into this later on in the training, that it's about adding personality and adding a story behind the content so that it's not bland and people can connect with it and resonate. So your questions. Just a summary of just a few of the questions that I had. A lot around engagement. How do I get better engagement with my email list? What works best? What's the best sequence for an autoresponder? And these are really the common questions that we had on. But guys, remember that email marketing is a big, it's a big jigsaw of the whole marketing space. So email marketing is just a small element, and if you haven't got other parts right, such as targeting, your sales copy, your offer, then the rest of your, you may find that email marketing specifically doesn't work because other things are broken. So when we look at marketing and sales, we just have to break it down and go, what is broken? If your business isn't where it is right now, the reason is because there's leaks in that flow. Okay, so you may have a business at the moment where you're wanting to double the income, or you're wanting to get from A to B, and you're just pushing and things aren't working. This webinar and this presentation is going to be great, and then you're going to get a lot of value from it. But at the same time, you need to understand that there's multiple elements in terms of marketing and sales, and we need to break it down into steps and really look at what specifically is broken and why you are not where you want to be. And that's where hiring a mentor and coach can really help, and I'll be chatting about that a little bit later on. But really, essentially, just remember that email marketing is just a small part of a bigger marketing jigsaw. So who am I? Simon Lovell. This was me back in 1984 with missing my 2 front teeth. And this is me in the modern day, 2013, a onesie-wearing, wacky, passionate marketing mentor. And here you can see my onesie obsession, my kind of prison-style one on the right, my Christmas one on the left, and here's me and my buddy Mark, and my friends bought me a Fox onesie. Anyway, with the weather as it is now, it's nice to wear them. And anyway, that's just a little bit about my craziness. So I was a fat bully teenager turned personal trainer, best-selling book author, TV presenter, and I really went and shifted from being a personal trainer and into the marketing space. I took a 13-page ebook into a 6-figure book deal with HarperCollins called The Lunchbox Diet, which you're more than welcome to check out. But it hasn't been plain sailing, and I've had a lot of failures, and that's really why I teach marketing now, because I have had a lot of success, but also failed at a number of things. And really what I teach now is really what's working in my multiple businesses that I have going on. So my journey, invested years in solid internet marketing study, and I spent over £60,000 in training with coaches and mentors, and I've made many mistakes, and I really want to save you. And I'm skilled in most areas of internet marketing. As I mentioned just a moment ago, email marketing is just one of many skills that an internet marketer has to undertake in order to look at a business and then be able to shape that business so that it can reach its full potential. So what do I do now? I help coaches, experts, entrepreneurs, and small businesses automate the process of getting high quality, paying clients, and deliver online training that sells 24/7 and creates the ultimate lifestyle. So essentially, I really help people get more clients and also take their skills and knowledge, package it into an online product that sells multiple times online, so that you can have a passive income. So maybe you're there at the moment and you're working lots of hours in the day, but maybe you have a skill set and you could package that into something which is a product, and that's what I do very well. So I'm super excited to get started with the training today, and what this training is actually on how to generate leads, okay, because that is a whole nother kind of training altogether, but I did want to give you an overview on different strategies to generate leads for your business. Okay, so here's a little mind map that I created for you. So different lead generation strategies, which we've got Facebook on the right, we've got Facebook ads. All of these are things that I'm doing in my business at the moment. So Facebook ads in groups, fan pages, webinars, different forums, public relations, building the Lunchbox Diet. In fact, a lot of that was using the power of PR. LinkedIn, you got adverts, you got LinkedIn groups, Twitter, you got your website, blogging, guest blogs, and obviously you've got Google pay-per-click, which I know that many of you do, but many of you have tried and failed at. And the reason for that is because many times people run ads and they're not running it to the right type of place, and the sales copy isn't correct, and there's no marketing funnel in place. So if you're looking at some of these now and going, well, I've tried that, it didn't work, the reason for that is that you probably ran an ad or did something, but that where you were sending them to wasn't optimized. You didn't have a marketing funnel in place. So having a marketing funnel and system in place to build your business is critical if you want to scale it. All right. So I know, for example, that if I want to get more clients, I just have to run more webinars. I have to put more content out there. I have to email my email list, and it's just a process that I go through. So I'm never short of getting business because I just understand the process. So I can turn on and off my adverts as and when I need to. And this is what I help my clients and mentoring and coaching students do. So here we are going to kick off with the presentation in terms of email marketing, talking about timing. And I want your emails to get opened. So if you've got an email database, then just understand that timing is critical. Each industry is different, okay? And what you want to think of is, when are most people, active on their computers? So, Monday morning for many busy office types, we're sat there, there's lots of emails that have come in, and then we just hit the delete button. So a Monday morning, or for example, a Friday afternoon when people are winding down in the business kind of, if you're doing business to business, Monday mornings and Friday afternoons aren't the best times to be sending emails. But in other industries, it's different. For example, if you're sending video, then you may be wanting to send a video out, and most people are checking that out at work, but they're not going to be able to watch the video at work. So you might want to think about, do I need to send any video content out at the weekends when people are at home and able to just chill out a bit more and watch their videos? Because we all know what we're like on an evening. We're sat there on Facebook, we're clicking, watching YouTube videos of cats jumping off buildings and, all sorts. And that's when people are mostly using their phones and so forth. So just think about your customer, get in the mind of your customer and think, when is the best time for me to be sending out my email? And most of all, guys, check your stats, because that's really going to give you the data in terms of your opens and your click-throughs and the times in which people are kind of reading your emails. So different providers, I had an email the other day from someone saying, how do I email out lots of people without just taking their email address and put it in Outlook and put it in the CC section. If you're sat there at the moment and you're doing that, you must change to a provider which does all of this for you, that generates the leads, which grabs the leads and then puts them into a database so that you can then email them en masse or set up an autoresponder. So a company that I've used for many years is Aweber, but you've got a couple of companies like MailChimp, Infusionsoft, Office Autopilot, and the differences between these are, Aweber is a very cost-effective solution, but it's not so involved as something like Infusionsoft. But then Infusionsoft has a quite hefty sign-up fee, I think about $1,000. Office Autopilot, I think, is about $250 a month, and you only really want to go into, say, Infusionsoft or Office Autopilot if you're probably a bit more advanced. Aweber is a really good place to start, but the deliverability of things like MailChimp can be a bit lower. Aweber has always been pretty good, but they're all changing. So if you want to ask me what I use, then I use Aweber. So let's go on to some big mistakes, and Homer there in his adult situation. I want to provide you with some easy to avoid mistakes that are going to save you a lot of time and stress. So first of all, if you're running a business that isn't a kind of online shop, then I really wouldn't go for fancy designed email templates. All right, these are better for online stores. So the reason for that is that when an email comes into an email box, we want it to be as friend-like as possible. Like, has this come from someone that I like and trust and is a friend? But if people get that sense that it's come from a business, then they are not so likely to interact with it, depending on that type of business. But if you've got an online store and it's a brand, then it's slightly different. But for example, if you're running a service business or similar, then I would go for a basic blank email, and then you can just put your copy into that. And yes, you can include pictures in that, but these kind of fancy borders and things like that, it just really does look a bit off and unprofessional in my opinion. Unless you're like one of the big brands and you've got you're running different emails out, and it's really branded to you, and it's online shop based. Subject lines, we're going to be coming into this a little bit later on, but I still see subject lines from companies which say April newsletter, and that is the biggest waste of a subject line, because the idea of the subject of the email is to grab the attention. Just like when you're sat down and there's a newspaper there, you flick through, and what grabs you is either a picture or a headline. In this case with email, when a picture isn't going to grab your attention unless you've opened the email. So the first thing that's going to grab your attention is the subject line. So we need to grab the attention. I'm going to be giving you some of those subject lines in the presentation. Promotion. So if you have an email database at the moment, and every time you send out an email it's buy my thing, then don't be surprised if you get people unsubscribing from your email database. These days people want to have value, and then they want to buy from people who they like and trust. So when people get shoved something down their throat, and we've all been subscribed to things like Vistaprint, when they send out a million emails, you just end up unsubscribing. So just be wary and understand that you don't want to be sending out lots of promotions. Yes, you do want to send out promotions, but there's a better formula for that, and I'll come on to that later on. Don't worry about unsubscribes if you're sending out good value. If you do be concerned about unsubscribes if you're doing the promotion. But generally, if I'm sending out value and I get people unsubscribed, there's lots of different reasons that people are going to do that. You don't know what it is. Maybe they've sat there and they've subscribed to a million different things, and they're just clearing out their email box, or it's not relevant to them at that time. But it's very easy for us to sit there and see that people have unsubscribed and then go into this negative mindset of, oh my God, I've just sent out this email and it must have been awful. Don't do that, and don't wind yourself up that you've done something wrong. It can just actually be the person on the other side. Another big mistake, writing to hundreds of people instead of writing to one person. When you write your emails, you really want to specifically target in on that ideal customer and write specifically to that one person. And this is why the importance of targeting and having a targeted email list is really important. So that what their specific challenges, pain points and aspirations are, and then you can speak specifically to them. If you write an email and you're talking generically to an audience, then people are going to feel that. And when you read an email, you want to read that it's been written for you, even though you know that it's been written to a lot of different people. Another mistake is using your brand name in the email from address. Who wants to reply to a business? If I'm, sitting there reading an email and want to reply, I don't want to reply to, a lighting company or, a health club. I want to reply to someone at the health club or someone at the lighting company, because I want that interaction and personality. So make sure that you use your personal name, and also put your personal address in the reply field. We can often get a bit egotistical in terms of, I think I should put an admin address, but just make your business really personal so that people want to connect with you, and you're going to generate more sales that way. Failing to track data, your email provider, Aweber, etc., they provide you a lot of statistics, and that's there to really help build your business. So be sure to go and check that out. And learn from that, because it's really going to help you. Lack of personality as well, just sending out emails that are bland, boring, and have no personality. People reading your emails, they want to connect and they want to feel like you understand their challenges and problems. So really don't be afraid to show yourself and show your vulnerabilities, and also the challenges that you're facing that also resonate and connect with the challenges that they're having too. And failure to have the end in mind. When you send an email, we don't just send an email to send an email. We need to have a goal for that. Is it to get a reply? Is it to get someone to click out to a post? Is it to get someone to fill out a survey? When you write an email, specifically ask yourself, what is the goal here? Is it to build value and trust? Is it to get them to watch a video so that in that video there's a call to action to buy your product? So always specifically have the end in mind. And here's my golden rule, okay? Email more often, okay? But only if you're sending out awesome sauce. Many businesses I speak to, I say, how often are you emailing your database? And they'll say to me, once a month, once every couple of weeks. Guys, you really need to be emailing more often, and that way you're going to be generating more value, more trust, and more sales. So don't be afraid to send out a couple of emails a week or more. I know people that email every day, and that's cool if you're providing value and trust. Okay? So email more often. So targeting. We want to get laser focused, and the reason we do that is so that we speak specifically to an audience, but then also it's going to help with our open rates and click-throughs too. So big lists versus targeted lists. It's not the size of your list that matters, okay? It's how targeted your list is, okay? I'd much rather have an email list of 1,000 than have an email list of, an email list of 1,000 targeted email addresses in a specific niche than have 1 million really broad emails that they're just email addresses of people. Because I just don't understand, it's just like a shotgun approach. You just want to really know your market and specifically know who is on my email database. And that way that you can speak to them directly and you know what they want and what their challenges are, and therefore you can put products and services in front of them. And this is going to affect your open rate and your click-through rate, or your CTR. Okay, the more targeted your list is. If you've got a broad email list and you're just sending out, let's say you've got an email list of men, males, females from all around the world, and you're sending out an email about weight loss, well, maybe like 1% are interested in it. But if you've got an email of, for example, women over 40 who need to lose weight, then that's going to affect your open rate and your click-through. So being targeted is really important. And small lists can bring a really huge return on investment when marketed to in the correct way. So just understand that you don't need a really big email list, and just understand that each of those emails is a specific person. It's got a challenge who sat there reading your email when it comes into their email box. A lot of businesses, they just talk about their email list like it's just like it's nobody and it's irrelevant, it's just numbers. But each of those emails is an actual person that's got a challenge and potentially you may need help. So when you market in the right way, you're really going to be able to tap into that market and generate more business. So let's go into the anatomy of an email, and let's really break it down for you so that you understand what gets an email open, clicked, and also builds value and trust. So we've touched on email timing. You've also got your email headline, which is your open rate, your email body copy, and then your call to action and link, okay, and your click through, your CTR, and then in this example, your blog gets read. So what I was saying earlier, let's have the end in mind. So the end in mind in this case is I want to get my blog read. So therefore I need to send the email at the right time. The headline's got to be right. The body copy's got to draw their attention. And the call to action's got to be clear. And then the link's got to be there. And then they're going to read the blog. And then the blog has its intention of whatever action I want it to take. So it really is all about the headline. We see newspapers every day and they get sales because of the headlines that they put onto the covers. So here's some headline secrets. This is where you get your open rate, okay? Think magazine titles. Use dig.com for ideas. Words That Sell, that book that I go on about a lot by Richard Bayan. You want to grab that and have that next to you. Make sure you put that in your action step list. Words That Sell. And single words, just short words, and keep your headlines short. If you've got an email program, you don't want to be putting really long subject lines and headlines because they're not going to be seen. So keep them relatively short. And they must be relevant to the content. You wouldn't want to put something in your subject line that isn't relevant to the copy in the email. This is a good little trick to use. Go to Google Images, type in your industry and then magazine, and then you're going to see lots of different covers of magazines. And then these people get paid a lot of money to come up with great headline ideas, and so you can come up with blog content and also email subject lines if it's relevant to the email, of course, and just use this as a brainstorming tool. So that's a good little trick. So here's some subject line examples. Sorry, ... if you've done something wrong or there's been a bit of a mistake or something's happened, that's going to get opened. The reason for that is that it sparks curiosity in the email. Everyone's going to know, well, what are they sorry about? Number one worst time to send an email. It's very interesting in the stats that come back. A lot of what I'm teaching you is based on data, and actually the negative of a positive is actually normally pulls better in terms of an email open rate. So, for example, the 5 best foods to eat to lose weight wouldn't get as big a open as the worst foods to eat to lose weight. All right, so people are sparked by the negative version. So the worst time to send an email as opposed to the best time to send an email would generally, and you have to go and look at the data, but it would generally pull more. Did you see this today? Pictures inside. I'm going to see that email and go, well, there's pictures inside, but what's happened today? Warning, never say this to a client. Again, what should I never say to a client? Okay, so if this was going out to some consultants, they would definitely be interested in that. First name, event next week. So maybe you're promoting an event and you'd actually promoted an event before, but it was coming up to the event, so you wanted to kind of draw attention to the event that was happening next week. That would draw interest. And here's some ones on specifically email marketing examples, just like I'm teaching in this training. How to write a killer email in 6 seconds is something I might draw your attention on if I had a specific email list that are interested in email marketing. Video, 3-minute client getting email. Sale ends midnight if I was offering some kind of email marketing training, which I'm not. Aweber versus MailChimp, shocking winner. Now, I've already told you that I use Aweber, but had I not, and you were still wondering, should I use Aweber or MailChimp, then the shocking winner is going to get you to open that. And notice how I use the brackets just so it doesn't blend in with the other copy. And again, using the negative, never write this in your subject line. That's going to spark your interest. So once you've got the attention, once you've written the subject line and they've opened the email, how do you get the click? How do you get the reader to take the next step, to take the next action? Well, first of all, the primary focus should be on one call to action per email. You don't want to send an email with lots of different links in the email. The main focus should be on one call to action, one focal point. So if at the moment you're sending out emails with a link here to this, and a link here to a blog, and a link here to contact me, and a link here to watch a video, and a link here to do this, and you're diluting your message. So separate your emails out. You want to match the hyperlink to the subject line, and I've got an example to show you exactly how to do that, and I'll explain the theory. And use images, for example, with a play button if you're using a video. So if you send out a video, maybe it's a YouTube video or a video of you talking and providing value, then you could drop an image into like Aweber, for example, add a little play button in Photoshop or another image program, and that's going to increase your clicks because people are thinking there's a video that's got to be played. And keep emails short. In the example I showed you earlier, is a bit longer, and that's fine if you're telling a story. But generally, keep emails short. And again, have the end in mind when writing your email. What do you want them to do next? Be very clear, and specifically ask them to hit reply and let me know if you want them to get them to reply. So if you wanted to interact with someone, then say hit reply and let me know your thoughts. And they will do as you say. And add a PS at the end of your email. And this is one of the most underused strategies. Lots of people, most people read the PS for some particular reason, just because it's there. And that's where you can reinforce something that you've mentioned earlier in your email, or give a call to action and reminder. So the power of stories. People resonate with stories. Just in the example at the start of the presentation I gave you about me being a little bit sick and just telling that story. Try and link in each email to some kind of story, generally. Unless it's a promotion. Then you can even do it with a promotion. And you want to create open and closed loops for multiple emails. And this is going into TV and film, where they create an open loop so that you want to watch the program until after the break, or it's a film and there's constant stories going on. So maybe in one email you say, oh, watch out for the next email where I'm going to teach you a little trick to do this, and it just kind of opens that loop that they need to watch out for the next email. Okay, rather than just closing an email, having one email that's just kind of general and focused on that one action. Just if you know that you're going to be sending something in the future, just kind of open that loop and say, hey, don't miss out my next email, and then tease what you're going to tell them. And that way you're going to get more opens on the future emails. Use your personal stories to create your emails, and this makes it a lot easier to write. When I wrote that email earlier, which I demonstrated with the cough, it was easy to write because I was feeling it. It was a pain I had. It was something that was happening at the time, so it was easy to just link that up and write that email. And yes, it takes a bit of creativity, but everyone's got it in them. So matching your subject to the hyperlink. Okay, so if you, in this email example, if you've got a subject line, which in this case is the key to non-stop energy, day 3 of 7. So if you've got a sequence of emails, you want to let people know that it's like email 1 of 7 or 3 of 7. So in this case, the key to non-stop energy, day 3 of 7. You'll notice that the link out, which is going to the content, matches the subject line. Because if someone's opened the email because of the headline, which is the key to non-stop energy, it would make sense for us to match the hyperlink, so the link out, to the subject line, because that's what's drawn their attention. All right, so we just match those up. So that's a little trick, and then you hyperlink the subject line, and then you put dash and then click here for the blog, or click here for the video. But that part isn't hyperlinked, so you can see in that example the blue bit is the link and the other bit is just the text. And that's another little trick, because without the click here for the secret, you're just giving them more of a reason to click it. It's just another call to action to remind them. And you see at the bottom we got the PS there, a really great post for you tomorrow. You'll be really surprised at this one. So how to get a reply. If you're in the service industry and you wanted to get a reply and you're not wanting to send people to a sales page and a buy button, emails should be pretty short. Imagine you're writing it to a friend, right? So read back the email and say, look, would this be really personal? I have like lots of autoresponders and they're so personal that people think that it's a personal message to them. But actually it's an autoresponder, and that's when you know that you've written a good email. Ask if they need help, and ask them specifically to hit reply. Again, you've got to be really clear and make things really simple for people. So if you want someone to reply, tell them to reply. If you want someone to click out, tell them to click out. If you want someone to jump off a cliff, tell them to I'm joking. You get the idea. So, and it's amazing what happens when you give clear directions. So autoresponders, on to the next section. Write one, send thousands. So what is an autoresponder? So essentially you've got broadcasts and you've got autoresponders. A broadcast is, let's say you've got an email database of 1,000 and you sent out a broadcast. Well, that will just instantly spit that email out to 1,000 people. Where an autoresponder is a sequence of emails that are set up after someone enters their name and email address to get the free gift or put in their details for a newsletter, which I wouldn't advise. You want to give something of value. And then they're basically drip-fed content in a sequence that you do once, and then that's just done once, and then people come into that marketing funnel, which is a sequence of emails. All right, so you do the work once, and it brings you revenue over and over again if the emails are written correctly and you've got the sequencing right. And it's a really great way to leverage your time because you're not having to send out constant emails. If you put out a really good blog post and content today, that's great. But what happens if someone comes into your email marketing funnel in 5 days' time? They're not going to have seen that email. So they're missing out on getting your really good content. So an autoresponder allows you to provide really good content in a sequence so that everyone gets it. And you can set this up for as long as you like. It could be 6 weeks, it could be 6 days, it could be 6 years. So the longer you set them up for, the more chance you've got of building your brand. So some autoresponder tips. Don't make the information time sensitive. If you've got a relevant bit of content that's time sensitive today that's not going to be relevant in, say, a week's time, then it wouldn't make sense to put that in an autoresponder sequence because it's not going to be relevant, and someone's going to read it and go, well, hang on a minute, that happened like a year ago. All right, so don't make it time sensitive. One email every day for the first 7 days. You want to get people while they're hot on the topic, so that you're constantly in their face, so to speak, in that 7-day period. And then you're as long as you're providing value and good stuff, then they're going to remember you because they've had that regular content. And then you want to spread out every 3 to 7 days, and set expectations early on regularity. Right. So say when someone opts in to your free gift or whatever, you could have a video which says, hey, thanks for opting in for your free gift. This is Simon. Just let you know, every day for the next 7 days, you're going to be getting a great bit of content from me, and you're going to learn this, this, and this. And then I'll send you out some other bits of information. So just set expectations, and that's going to reduce your spam complaints. And then you want to send 3 content to every one promotion or a soft promotion. A soft promotion being provide some tips and then enter a promotion at the end, as opposed to sending a solid solo promotion about buy this product. Okay. So 3 content emails and then 1 promotion. And here's the actual sequencing for my expertmastery.co.uk if you want to opt in for that and get some information on how to leverage yourself and build a product, then you can do that. You can see here video 1, expert positioning, video 2, selling your product case study, video 3, product pricing critical, video 4 are you to 1, and you can see my open rates and the sequencing of that. So in this case, I actually did. I sent them every 2 days, but the reason for that was that I wanted them to implement what I told them in the videos. So yeah, that's really important too. If you've got content which it needs to be digested and then actioned, then sometimes it takes a bit longer, so the sequencing needs to change. But if you've got content and it's tips, for example, then it might be fine for them to have it 1 day for every 7 days. So just think about specifically what am I sending them and how long have they got to action that, and then you might want to spread it differently. There's no golden rule. It depends on the content. So here's an example of a sequence which is every day for the first 7 days, and this was just a random industry that I made up, which was pregnancy fitness. So welcome emails, the super pregnancy fitness starter kit, which I opted in for. Then on the second email, which is day 2, video 3, super high energy foods, day 3, blog 3, gym machines to avoid, email 4, day 4, Deborah's story, and that's a case study to tease the product, day 5, Q&A, can you still weight train, Day 6, email 6, recipe healthy chocolate mousse. Day 7, 3 minutes of your time, and that's a survey to get more data. And then the sequencing goes day 12, day 17, day 21 on the email 8, 9, and 10, which is video awesome baby antics, just to kind of be cute and cool. And blog 6 bloating foods to avoid. And then the final email, first name, do you still need help with your fitness, to get them to reply. So that's just a basic autoresponder example for you. And here's a big tip. If a broadcast email makes sales, so you send out a broadcast email, so you've got an email database of 1,000 people, you send out a promotion and it's like, whoa, that generated sales or got a lot of replies or interest, make that and put it into your autoresponder sequence, because then it's proven, it's a proven marketing campaign. You know, track what works and do it more often, okay? And that's really going to help you. Done it many a time. You know, you send out an email and it's like, whoa, that just seemed to resonate. We'll use that and put it into future sequencing. So, reducing spam complaints. How to get to stop people from getting angry. Get your targeting right first of all. They must recognize the sender, right? So again, a video after opt-in really helps with that. So they put in the name and email address, and there's a video of your pretty face. Tell it saying who they are and what to expect from the email, so that when the email comes in the inbox, they know who it's from. Use your own reply address, okay, and be open about how to unsubscribe. If people can't find that unsubscribe button, then when they do, they'll click the spam button. And don't send crap. If you send awesome stuff and awesome sauce, then you'll get awesome fans and awesome sales. So just send good stuff, and you're not going to get spam complaints. If you send something, and I mean I've been guilty of this in the past, all right, so I'm just teaching you what's happened with me. But if you send something and you've kind of tried to get them to do something and it's not fully like coherent with what you tried to do, then they're gonna hit the spam button. All right, so if you're trying to get them to open a document and it's something which you really know isn't helping them, all right, and it kind of it's difficult to, how do I explain it? If you're getting them to open an email and the intentions of the subject line don't match the content, for example, okay, and it's kind of like, oh, that was sneaky, okay, so it's like, oh, they got me to open it for that, and then it's actually nothing to do with something in the email, that's going to get a spam complaint. Okay, so you just need to be consistent throughout, and that's going to help you. So I completely lost my train of thought there. So some more advanced things to consider. Okay, analytics, just digging into your analytics more. Split testing, so lots of different programs, Aweber included, allow you to split test different headlines and different emails. Segmentation, splitting your email lists into different segments, so that you're only sending to UK subscribers or only sending to a different kind of demographic. You can obviously look at buying email lists. I would definitely recommend building your own using Facebook ads and that type of thing first. Resending mails to unopens, okay, because your timing could be wrong. You could have sent an email and it could be a really good one, but you just sent it at the wrong time, so you can just resend those with a different subject line, for example, and that can really help. So these are more advanced things that you can look at within the email programs, and they've always got the training for you to look at that. So how do you move your business forward faster? Okay, do you want to get more leads faster? Because we've been talking about email marketing here today, but we need to get leads. We need to get more leads, and then we can get more buyers. All right. Maybe you want to create a passive income, and maybe you want to supercharge your business's growth and be pushed outside of your comfort zone and shortcut the process to success. Well, the fastest way to success is to hire a mentor and to teach you the things that you need to know to really shift your business up a gear. But you need to be laser focused on the right elements, or you'll be pulled in the wrong direction by information products, okay? There's lots of different shiny objects out there, and I really try and hone people in on specifically what they need to do right now to get the biggest result. All right, and if you're in your business, you need a third person to spot the leaks that you're not seeing and the assets that you have. Okay, and also so that you can be held accountable to give you the speedboat to the island instead of you trying to paddle there. Many businesses I see who are trying to just go and read lots of books and do lots of things to try and get there, when it's just a lot more sensible to hire someone who's where you want to be and get them to tell you specifically how to get there much quicker. Okay, and you can work with someone who is where you want to be and has the experience that you're looking for. Okay, you can check out my website here, which is simonlovell.co.uk. Got some testimonials, and you can also check out my blog and other content there. And you can stay the same, or you can get clarity on where you're going, get amazing results, and give you more time doing what you really love. Plus, you can reach more people and get maximum impact on who you're trying to help. And really finally understand marketing and be competent in it, and use it to help others. You know, many people have got this message and got this brilliant skill set, but it's marketing which is really letting them down. And the purpose of his presentation today was give you obviously that piece of the jigsaw, which is email marketing, but there's so much more to understand in order to build your business up. As I mentioned before, it's about looking at your whole marketing funnel process and going, what's broken? Why aren't you where you want to be? So if you're at $5,000 a month and you want to get to $10,000 a month, or you're at 10 and you want to get to 20, it's just about looking at your process, breaking it down, and saying, how do we scale that up? Okay, and then we can end all confusion for you about what to do when. And a lot of time, people are they think, well, you know, maybe I should do Facebook ads now, or maybe I should improve my website now, maybe I should look into building a Facebook page. But really having someone from the outside look in and get you to do the right thing at the right time is what's going to speed up your results. All right, and then we can set up an automated marketing process for you, which works. So if you enjoyed the webinar, then head to facebook.com/SimonLovellMarketing. And if you would like to have a free strategy session with me, I've got a limited number of these, okay, for this webinar. So just head to simonlovell.co.uk/coach strategy. And what we'll do is we'll jump on a call. I'll find out where you are, okay, specifically where you're at right now, where you're trying to get to, and then I can see the gap in between, and then I can tell you specifically what needs to happen for your business to go to the next level. I'll be very honest with you on that call, and I'll expect you to be very honest with me too, so that we can really change your business this year and get you to where you want to be. So, which would you rather pick to get to your target, the paddle boat or the speedboat? And here's a couple of testimonials. I'm doing a victory dance. I just sold my online program, which hasn't been released yet. And by the way, it's still in testing mode for £200 today. This is the most I've sold it for. Previously, only sold it to 4 people for £70. I would never dreamed of asking that much money, but yes, Mr. Lovell said I could. So I grew a pair and did what I was told to do, and that's in the case of an information product. I'd just like to say a big thank you to Simon Lovell today. Started with him after one call. A few ideas later, I posted one of Simon's ideas on my Facebook page and got 42 fresh hits off one comment and around 30 to 40 brand new emails and leads. Delighted. And this person went on to make 5k in 7 days from those leads. So I expect 100% success rate. You must be an action taker, okay? You must be helping people's lives with a great product or service. You must be super passionate about what you do, because I love marketing and I really want to help you market a great product and service. I don't want to help someone market something which isn't awesome, okay? And you must be willing to take yourself to the next level. And if you are that person and you really do understand that, you know, you've got to be an action taker, you've got to have the right mindset, and you're willing to do and step out your comfort zone, head to simonlovell.co.uk/coach strategy. We'll jump on a call and we'll turn your business around this year. So what I want you to do now is, if you've got any questions, okay, all you need to do is comment comment below. There should be a Q&A field, and then you can ask questions, and I will be coming back and asking those. So thank you very much, guys, for taking the time out of your day to check out this presentation. I really hope you enjoyed it. Head to simonlevel.co.uk, and I really look forward to seeing you in another training. Take care.